जिस किन्हीं को भी भगवत गीता का प्रवचन सुनना है, कृपया अपने स्थान पर बैठे रहिए। हरे कृष्ण।
यात्रा गया फिर और दूसरा यात्रा
हरे कृष्ण। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी, यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन, यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन, यमुना तीरावनचारी, यमुना तीरावनचारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी, यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन,
यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरावनचारी यमुनातीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नीताय गौर हरि बोल नीताय गौर हरि बोल जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद कलियुग पावन श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, text number 30. Mai sarvani karmani sannyasya chetasa nirashir nirmamo bhutva yudhyasva vigatajvaraha. Translation purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Therefore, O Arjun, surrendering all your works unto me with full knowledge of me, without desires for profit, with no claim to proprietorship, and free from lethargy, fight. Purport. This verse clearly indicates the purpose of the Bhagavad Gita. The Lord instructs that one has to become fully Krishna conscious to discharge duties as if in a military discipline. Such an injunction may make things a little difficult. Nevertheless, duties must be carried out with dependence on Krishna, because that is the constitutional position of the living entity. The living entity cannot be happy independent of the cooperation of the Supreme Lord, because the eternal constitutional position of the living entity is to become subordinate to the desires of the Lord. Arjuna was therefore ordered by Sri Krishna to fight as if the Lord were his military commander. One has to sacrifice everything for the goodwill of the Supreme Lord and at the same time discharge prescribed duties without claiming proprietorship. Arjuna did not have to consider the order of the Lord, he had only to execute his order. The Supreme Lord is the soul of all souls, therefore, one who depends solely and wholly on the Supreme Soul without personal consideration, or in other words, one who is fully Krishna conscious, is called Adhyatma Chetasa. Nirashi means that one has to act on the order of the master, but should not expect fruitive results. The cashier may count millions of dollars for the employer, but he does not claim a cent for himself. Similarly, one has to realize that nothing in the world belongs to any individual person, but that everything belongs to the Supreme Lord. That is the real purport of Mai, or unto me. And when one acts in such Krishna consciousness, certainly he does not claim proprietorship over anything. This consciousness is called Nirmama, or nothing is mine. And if there is any reluctance to execute such a stern order, which is without consideration of so-called kinsmen in the bodily relationship, that reluctance should be thrown off. In this way, one may become Vigatajvara, or without feverish mentality or lethargy. Everyone, according to his quality and position, has a particular type of work to discharge, and all such duties may be discharged in Krishna consciousness, as described above. That will lead one to the path of liberation. So here we are discussing this verse from 3rd chapter. So Krishna is saying, Mai sarvani karmani sanyasyadhyatma chetasa nirashir nirmamo bhutva yudhyasva vigatajvara. So 4 lines describing 4 different things. So yudhyasva vigatajvara, it says you should fight after getting rid of jvara, vigatajvara. Vigatajvara is get rid of your laziness. So laziness is usually born out of mode of ignorance. Tamogun. So get rid of your tamas and fight. Do your duty. Then the next line, the line before, it says, Nirashir nirmamo bhutva. You give up all your selfish desires, your false sense of proprietorship. This is mine, this is not mine, that is mine. We have this possessive mentality. So get rid of that proprietorship. You may think this is my family, this is my property, my kingdom, my wealth, my possessions, my position. Nirashi, nirmama, nirmama, not mine. Mama is mine. Nirmama, not mine. Nirashi, without asha, without any desires. So this is mode of passion, Rajogun. To collect, accumulate things, keep it with oneself and use it for our selfish purpose. This tendency is born out of Rajogun. So Krishna is advising Arjun, fight not for your selfish gain, not for your selfish enjoyment, but without any of those. Then sanyasya adhyatma chetasa. Give up everything. Sanyasya adhyatma chetasa. You have to do it for a higher cause. So that is coming out of the mode of goodness, sattva. So give up all three modes. Give up the influence of all three modes. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. We all are conditioned by the modes. So Krishna says, you have to give up the influence, not get under the influence of any of these. So we may think mode of ignorance is bad, tamogun is bad, rajogun is also bad, but sattvagun? What is the problem? But sattvagun is also bad, at least not the best. It may be better than tamo and rajas, but sattvagun is not the highest. It's better than all, but not the highest. One has to go beyond sattvagun also. That's what Krishna says in the first line. Mai sarvani karmani. Giving up all your activities unto me. Mai. So oftentimes we find people who comment on the Gita, speak on the Gita, they conveniently ignore this part, Mai. They ignore the Krishna part. Krishna is directly telling here, clearly saying here that you offer the results to me. Mujhe arpan karo. Mai sarvani karmani. Sanyasya. But somehow people find it uncomfortable to say that you have to offer things to Krishna. Especially when you have in the audience people from different religious communities, different faiths. So people find it difficult to say, Arey, Krishna ko arpan karna hai. They feel if you tell Krishna, to a sectarian communal ban jata hai. Krishna is like a sectarian god of a certain class of people. And if I tell that you have to offer it to Krishna, then what about people who are worshipping other gods, other devatas, other religions? They should not get offended. They should not feel bad. So generalize Krishna. Make Krishna a vague entity and say, offer it to the universe and the power and the divinity and God. Use a generic terms. So then everyone feels okay. No one feels offended. But here Krishna is clearly saying, Mai sarvani karmani. Offer the results to me. So if you are being loyal to Gita, if you are being strictly following the Gita, then we should say what Gita says. We are not trying to please everyone here. Of course, if we understand the Gita properly, then we understand that Krishna is not just a sectarian god, not just a Hindu god, not just a god of people who live in India or certain parts of India. Krishna is God for everyone. Krishna is one name of God. God can have multiple names. And Krishna is one name of God. So this is what Krishna is saying. When you go beyond the modes, one can go beyond the modes by offering the results of our activities to Krishna. That immunizes us from the effect of the modes. Just like we take a vaccine, right? COVID vaccine or any other vaccine, TB vaccine, polio vaccine. When you take a vaccine, what happens? The germs and the infections won't touch you, right? Similarly, these modes, sattva, rajas, tamas, is considered like infections. And they can infect anyone. But then we need the vaccine. Vaccine of being Krishna conscious. Vaccine of accepting service to Krishna, remembrance of Krishna. If that is there, if you are offering the results to Krishna with love and affection, that ensures that we are unaffected by the modes. Unaffected by the modes. So rarely you find Krishna talking directly to Arjun that you do it for me. But it's the first time or maybe second time or third time that Krishna is telling that you offer the results to me. So, Sanyasya Adhyatma Chetas. So this makes us transcendental. Gradually one has to rise from the mode of ignorance to the mode of passion, to the mode of goodness and transcend. Just like if a rocket is sent into the space, initially there is pull of gravity, gravity is pulling, the rocket has to go, then there is enough fuel to go against gravity. But then it reaches a certain stage beyond which there is no pull of gravity. And then you don't need the fuel also. Once it is beyond the pull of gravity, you need escape velocity, then it is free beyond the earth's pull. Similarly, these modes, sattva, rajas, tamas, is like pull of the gravity. It drags us from our spiritual position. We may come down to the mode of goodness or even more to passion or the most fallen, the mode of ignorance. To go beyond these modes, we need a force that can take us beyond the modes. That is the process of Krishna consciousness, the process of Bhakti Yoga, process of any yoga, but especially Bhakti Yoga, can take us beyond the modes. So in this way, Krishna is talking about these things. So how do we go beyond? Several times in the Gita we find Krishna says, use your mind and intelligence. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu ma manusmara yudhyacha. Mai arpita mano buddhir. You do the arpit, you arpan karo, mana and buddhi. Then you can reach me, attain me. So mind and intelligence play a very crucial role in our liberation. Mind has a certain function, intelligence has a certain function. What is the function of the mind? Function of the mind is to desire, ichha karna. That is the function of the mind. And function of the desire, intelligence is to decide what is right, what is wrong. Wisdom is the function of intelligence. So imagine we have the x-axis and y-axis standard, the four quadrants. So on the x-axis you have desire axis, and the vertical axis is wisdom axis or intelligence axis. So X is positive, positive Y, negative X, negative Y. So strong desire, strong intelligence. Weak desire, strong intelligence. Weak desire, weak intelligence. Strong desire, weak intelligence. So each of these four quadrants can represent this verse that we are discussing. So desire is strong. Desire is weak. Wisdom is weak. I don't have the desire to serve Krishna, practice spiritual life, and I don't have the intelligence to understand what is good, what is right. So that is a sign of tamogun. No desire, no understanding or awareness, no knowledge, no intelligence, no wisdom. That is tamogun. So what is the characteristic of tamogun? Be lazy, relax, enjoy, stay in one place. The main drive of such a person is how to avoid troubles, how to avoid inconveniences. Let me just live like this so that no problem bothers me. And if there is a problem, how to avoid? The person doesn't have a drive to work and do something, earn money, earn something, get something. So say for example, in a room, watching internet, watching television, just lie down, relax, hours and hours, sleep and watch TV, drink, eat, bus. And if some problem comes, how to avoid? That is the whole purpose of life for such a person. The typical characteristic of tamogun, mode of ignorance. And what else? So Krishna says jvara, vigata jvara. One should give up lethargy, laziness. So next is you have desire is strong, but no knowledge, no wisdom, no intelligence. Strong desire. But what to desire? That the person doesn't know. He ends up desiring the wrong things. Strong desire to achieve many things. Like in Sanskrit you find this word artha. Artha का मतलब क्या है? अर्थ का मतलब है मतलब. Artha means meaning. Right? One meaning of artha is artha. इसका अर्थ क्या है? उसका शब्दार्थ क्या है? One meaning of artha is meaning. But artha is also used to define resources. Okay, money, resources, and what else? Yeah, artha can also mean the purpose or goal. Like we hear this word purushartha. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. These are considered 4 purusharthas. And then there is this word paramartha. Paramartha means the highest goal. So artha, for every person there is different artha, the goal. If you ask anyone, what is the goal of your life? What is the main motive for your life? Everyone will say different things. And our artha evolves with age also. Like if you ask a baby, small newborn baby, what is the artha for a baby? The goal? To eat everything. Anything that you get, you put it in the mouth. So everything is eatable for a child. The child grows a little. Jai Shri Radha Gopinath Bhagavan ki. When the child grows up, becomes a young child, boy or girl, What is the artha for that child? Playing toys, right? Toys, balls, dolls. The child grows a little more, starts going to school. Then what is the artha for a child? Get good score, get clear exams, right? Or maybe friends. When you are a small baby, then you want to enjoy everything, toys. But then when the child grows, then you need friends to play with, games to play. And then a little more grows older, then they score marks, good rank. Child goes a little more, say graduate student, college going student. Then what is the artha for the child, for that person? May get a good job, make a good career, then still older, get marriage, raise a family. So in this way, artha for a person also changes, evolves over time. But the problem is, if the artha doesn't evolve, suppose a person grows, say, goes to college, and if he still says, I want to play toys, थोड़ा गड़बड़ है ना इसमें. I still want to play toys. Or if someone is a 50-year-old man, he wants to play some sport, like a college-going kid. So there is a mismatch here. There is a mismatch. So if your artha doesn't evolve with your age, then it is called anartha. There is a problem here. So if for most people, for example, if my artha is money, I want money. Nothing wrong in getting money. Nothing wrong in acquiring resources. But at some stage, that goal has to evolve. If artha becomes your paramartha, the highest goal of life, then it is called, which anartha? The anartha of greed, lobha. So there are 6 anarthas. Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. So greed, when do you call the drive for money as greed? When you replace it with the highest goal. When money becomes the highest goal of life, then it is called greed. So there is a need of money, there is a need of everything, but that shouldn't become the highest goal. So most people, at least the Shastra is supposed to educate us. What are different arthas and what is the paramartha? Unfortunately, in today's education system, everything is driven around acquiring only one thing, which is what? Money. Only money. Your education, your career, your planning, your life, everything is centered around how much money we can accumulate. And if people who have larger amount of money, they are considered success. Money is equated with success. Lack of money is considered failure. In the Bhagavatam, you find this verse. Tvam akinchana gocharam. Kunti Devi is praying. Akinchana, you, O Lord Krishna, you are akinchana gocharam. You are the wealth of the poverty stricken. Wealth of the poverty stricken. Of course, not all poverty stricken people are possessing Krishna, but generally, people who possess Krishna are usually poverty stricken. At least externally they appear to be poverty stricken, lacking wealth and resources. They externally appear like beggars. You are akinchana gocharam. Anyway, that's another point. So when we don't understand what is the highest goal, paramartha, then there is a problem. So, when there is desire is strong, coming back to the 4 quadrants, desire is strong and knowledge is weak, no knowledge, then it is mode of passion, rajogun. Then we have strong awareness. Someone knows what is artha, what is paramartha. They understand spiritual life, Adhyatma is the goal of life, Krishna consciousness is the goal of life, devotion to Krishna is the goal of life. But then their desire is weak. Weak desire. Like many of us could be like that. We have come to Krishna consciousness, but then drive is lacking. So that is, at least in this case, we can consider it in the mode of goodness. We know what is the purpose of life and we have some desire, but we are not strongly wanting it. And if you say, "Arey, this problem hai, you have to get rid of this has to be solved, that has to be solved." Is it ठीक है ना? What is the problem? Just tolerate. Tamsi diksha swabharata vi mein se. Just tolerate. It's okay. Just manage with it. So this is mode of goodness. But then what is the best out of the 4 quadrants? Strong desire and strong awareness, strong wisdom, strong knowledge about what is right, what is the goal of life. Then we can actually contribute, not only help ourselves, but also contribute for the development of society. So that's what happened to Arjun. Arjun initially, he goes through all these stages. Initially he was lazy, not lazy, but he said, why to fight? He was not aware of Krishna's purpose. His desire was lacking and he was not aware of the purpose. Then he heard the Gita. Then he came to the stage of understanding what is the right desire, right purpose, and he developed the desire. Strong desire and strong awareness of the purpose. And then he fought the battle. And he contributed to Krishna's mission. Offered, he didn't want to fight for himself. Initially Krishna offered him, you fight. If you fight and win the war, then you will enjoy the kingdom. Which mode? Rajogun. Right? Initially he was in Tamogun. I don't want to fight and I don't know the purpose also. Then he came to Rajogun. Fight for my enjoyment. Krishna initially said, do that, at least for your sake. Enjoy heaven, enjoy the kingdom. Then Krishna says, reject everything. Fight for only duty's sake. Karmanyevadhikarasya ma phaleshu kadacha. That is mode of goodness. Ma karma phala heturbhuru. Ma te sangostu karma. But then now he is saying, Mai sarvani karmani. Not just for the sake of duty, not for your enjoyment. Fight for my cause, my purpose, my desire. So this is the highest, best stage. Understanding what is the highest purpose of life and work for it. So Shastra talk about a universe, a purpose that is an ultimate purpose for all of us. All living entities, all human beings, all over the universe. There is a common purpose for every living entity. Just like when you join a college or an institution, or when you join a company, we have a purpose. There is a purpose for all the employees. There is a purpose for all the students. What is the purpose? Graduate out of college. Appear for the exam and graduate. And college ka naam kya roshan karo. If you come first, if you are top rank, college is glorified. Similarly, when you are working for an organization, the organization has a purpose. There is a vision, mission, all those things are there. And every employee, whichever department, from housekeeping guys to the topmost executives, everyone has the same purpose, their same goal of achieving, fulfilling the company's vision. But within the overall vision of the organization, there are individual goals. Every department will have a certain goal. Within the department, every employee, every member will have a certain purpose. If everyone works in that direction, then the whole organization moves forward. Right? Similarly, when it comes to the life, there is a universal purpose. purpose of liberating everyone from the clutches of conditional life. Ekanta labham vachaso nupumsam. There is one singular purpose for everyone. To get liberated from the cycle of birth and death. To get liberated from the cycle of the effect of the modes. It's a universal common purpose for everyone. Now, how every individual will come out of the clutches, that will vary. That will differ. That will differ based on our own psychophysical nature, our own aptitudes, attitudes. It can depend on the place where we are living, the time in which we are living. So we are living in India. Within India, we are living in Mumbai. It's Kali Yuga period, 21st century. We have certain nature, certain aptitudes, certain habits. How one can fulfill this universal purpose? We have to figure out our own solution. Some things are common. Some things will be customized. So therefore, Krishna says, Mai sarvani karmani. You offer the results to me. How to offer the results, which results to offer, how much to offer, that will vary. That will change. That's what the Gita is describing, telling us, teaching us to come out, understand what is Paramartha, what is the highest goal of life, and gradually rise above the modes. Get rid of the infectious modes. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, you find several stories of how various characters have made their life successful by following this principle. Various characters in different modes, different situations, different conditions, they have risen above the modes. So in the 4th canto, you find the story of Daksha Prajapati. Daksha Prajapati was holding a very high position in the universal management. But somehow he had a problem of envy. Envy towards Lord Shiva. Daksha's daughter Sati was married to Shiva, Lord Shiva, Shivji. And somehow Daksha didn't like Shiva. He thought, "Ye kaun hai ye Shivji?" Always walking around, roaming around with skulls and ash and looking dirty. Why did I offer my daughter to Shiva? My Sati daughter is beautiful, but my son-in-law is horrible. It's not matching my prestige. So one time in an assembly, when everyone was seated, Daksha came inside, entered the assembly, and he saw everyone standing up and respecting him. But Lord Shiva didn't stand up. Lord Brahma didn't stand up. Brahma was, of course, his father. He didn't mind. But Shiva, he didn't stand to offer respects. So he couldn't appreciate this. But Lord Shiva was absorbed in his own thoughts. He was absorbed in his devotion. He was absorbed in Lord Sankarshan, meditation on Sankarshan, his worshipable form. And he didn't notice Daksha entering the assembly and यहाँ पे क्या चल रहा है, he was least bothered. So Daksha wouldn't tolerate this. He thought it is an offense. Shiva is disrespecting me. So he got very angry. And he started criticizing, blaspheming Lord Shiva. Not realizing Shiva's position. Shiva was his son-in-law, but Shiva was holding a very important position. Mahadev, 3 devon में से एक देव है. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, one of the important positions. He is above even Daksha. Right? Although Daksha is father-in-law in terms of biological relations, but Lord Shiva has a higher, superior position. which Daksha couldn't somehow understand. So he criticized Shiva in the open assembly. And Lord Shiva felt bad, but he didn't respond. He heard everything, but he just walked out of the place. And long time passed, several years passed. And another time, again, Daksha organized an event, a sacrifice, where he invited everyone, all the major influential devatas, except one person. Who? Shiva. He decided to not invite Shiva. बाकी सब छोटे देवता को बुलाया, लेकिन शिव जी को नहीं बुलाया. So Sati got to know this. Sati thought, okay, let me go and participate in the event. Maybe Daksha's mind will change upon seeing me. But Sati went there. Daksha ignored Sati also. He disrespected Sati also, although his daughter. So then Sati got really offended. And she decided, I will end my life. I don't want to have any connection with this person, my father, Daksha. So she sat in a yogic position and generated fire within and burnt herself. Sati. We hear, na, Sati? Sati guzar gayi. She burnt her body. Later she was born as Parvati and again married to Shiva. But that's another story. But when this happened, Sati ended her life. There was a huge commotion there. Shiva's followers who was there watching all this, they created a big scene. They destroyed the whole assembly, destroyed the sacrifice, bet up everyone and did many things. And then Shiva, when Lord Shiva heard this event, he got really angry. And then he created a demon out of his hair. And his name was Veerabhadra. Veerabhadra was a huge monster. He came and Lord Shiva told him, go there and do the needful. Jo zarurat hai kar lo. And he went there. What he did? He took the main talwar of sacrifice का जो animal को काटने के लिए होता है. He took that talwar and cut off Daksha's head. Killed him. And then replaced his head with the head of a goat. Bakre ka head. So Daksha was revived. He got life back, but now he had a goat's head. Goat-headed Daksha. So in this way, Daksha realized, oh my God, I was the most smartest, most handsome personality here in the whole universe. And within a moment, everything changed. So all the reaction coming from the earlier event of offending Shiva. Then he realized his mistake and blunder, and then he felt, then he said, what to do? So everyone advised him, go and beg forgiveness from Shiva. Brahma also advised him. So they all went to Kailash, and then they met Shiva there and apologized. Daksha offered nice prayers to Shiva. He came back to his senses, understanding such a blunder I committed. And then Shiva forgave him. Lord Shiva, Ashutosh, he forgave him, and then then he continued his duties. So this Daksha's example is considered an example in the mode of ignorance. He performed his activities but out of envy. In the same canto you find the story of Dhruva. When Dhruva was insulted by his father, stepmother, and then he went to his mother, Suniti. And Suniti advised, sorry, I can't help you. I am your father's rejected queen. If you have any desire to be fulfilled, please worship Lord Vishnu. Only Vishnu can help you. So he goes to the forest. He asks, where can I find Vishnu? So mother says, I have heard sages going to the forest and finding Vishnu. So you go there. Maybe you will find Vishnu. So he goes to forest and he meets Narad Muni. Narad Muni gives him guidance how to worship Lord Vishnu, what mantra to chant, what regulations to follow. So then he follows those regulations. And within 6 months, within a short span of 6 months, Dhruva Maharaj got the darshan of Lord Vishnu. So then Lord Vishnu said, what do you want? And he had a desire. What was the desire? The desire to attain the highest position in the universe, higher than the position of Lord Brahma, his great-grandfather. So Vishnu said, there is no such position. Brahma ji se upar kaun sa position hai? But still, since you have the desire, I will give you a position. And then he was offered this planet. Which planet? Pole star, Dhruva Tara. So there he became the chief resident, the king. So Dhruva's practice of spiritual life, practice of bhakti towards Vishnu, is considered to be in the mode of passion, Rajogun. Why Rajogun? Because his artha was different. He had a strong desire, but his desire was something else. His desire was not Vishnu. Although he attained Vishnu, but his desire, his goal of worshipping Vishnu was material. Later, of course, his desire changed. Upon getting the darshan of Lord Vishnu, his desire got purified, and then he said, oh my God, why did I ask for this? What a stupid desire I had. Asking for a position in the temporary material world, for a temporary position. Material world is temporary. उसके अंदर एक temporary position के लिए I worked so hard. What a waste of time. This is what the Bhagavatam teaches. What is real artha? What is the paramartha? It's like we work hard and earn a lot of money. Say 1 crore rupees you get, and then you spend it all in a hotel. Imagine you win a lottery of 1 crore and then you spend all the money in food in one night. What a waste, right? मैंने बोला अरे एक करोड़ जीता तूने और पैसा एक दिन में खत्म. If you could have invested in stock market, in a bank, in FD, you would have earned so much money, right? Similarly, we put so much effort to get so many things, and we worship different devatas and puja and this and that. We do vrata, upavas and this and that. Everything we do, ultimately, what do we ask for? We ask for temporary things. I want this, I want that, I want wealth, I want roti, kapda, makan. If you already have roti, kapda, makan, I want improved facilities of roti, kapda, makan. If you have improved, then I want still more better than that. Ultimately, Shastra says, this is foolish. Your desires are foolish. Why don't you ask for the real thing? Itna mehnat karke itna sa. What a waste of opportunity. Therefore, you find when we read the Bhagavatam, when we read the Shastra, we have to see how great devotees have desired for the right things. Dhruva says, I was asking for broken pieces of glass. Kacham vichinvan napi divya ratnam swamin kritarthosmi varam nayache. When he saw Lord Vishnu, darshan of Vishnu, he said, oh my God, I was asking for broken pieces of glass. But now I have attained the most precious diamond, Divya Ratnam. Now I need nothing else. All other desires are insignificant. This is the real thing. So we read from Dhruva's prayer. Dhruva says, Bhakti moho pravahatam tvai me. He says, when Lord Vishnu says, okay, theek hai, ask for something. What exactly do you want? He says, let me always remain in the association of your devotees. Because in the association of devotees, I will get to hear your glories. Neshe bhavad guna kathamrita panamatta. Let me drink the intoxicating beverage of your guna katha. This is real nectar. This is the real wealth. The opportunity to hear the glories of Krishna, the glories of his devotees. This is the real intoxication. Pana mattaha. Mattaha matlab you get intoxicated. So Dhruva's story, then we hear the story of Prithu. He did so much sacrifice, Ashwamedha sacrifices, 100 sacrifices, 99 sacrifices out of his duty. That's in the mode of goodness. Then Indra was trying to compete with him. Indra was the one who has performed 100 sacrifices. So Prithu reached 99 and he was doing the 100th. He was going to hit the century. And Indra felt, Arey, till now I am the only centurion. No one has crossed 100. No one has attained 100. So he started employing various tricks to stop Prithu from doing the 100th. So Prithu tried several times, but somehow every time Indra would come and disrupt the whole process. So finally Lord Vishnu and Lord Brahma come and tell him, Arey Baba, enough. Bahut ho gaya. Why do you want to waste time doing the 100th one? Let Indra be the holder of that position. You'll be happy with 99. So Prithu immediately agreed. Lord Brahma is saying, Lord Vishnu is advising me. They are happy with my 99. I am happy. So that is like the mode of goodness, Sattvagun. He wanted to do, but then out of a sense of duty, he desisted from doing it. And later we find the same canto, we find the story of Prachetas. Prachetas are 10 brothers. 10 brothers working very cooperatively. They were married to one wife. But then they didn't fight. So seeing their cooperative, harmonious, affectionate dealings, Lord Shiva was very pleased. So he came before them and he gave them very good advice. How to practice spiritual life. How to attain the perfection of life. There is an entire chapter in the 4th canto that tells instructions of Lord Shiva to Prachetas. Very nice song. So Prachetas followed that and then they later became the emperors of the planet and they ruled the kingdom planet very nicely. So this mood, this cooperative spirit among devotees, among spiritual practitioners is ultimately what pleases Krishna. Pleases Krishna. Even in the Pandavas you find 5 brothers married to one wife, Draupadi, right? But they were hardly fought with each other. There were some disagreements, especially when they were in the forest. But otherwise, they were very, very cooperative, very affectionate towards Yudhishthir. Yudhishthir would say anything, everyone would follow. Even in the war, although they were small in number, but because they were united, they could easily defeat the Kauravas. And the Kauravas, although bigger in number, they were disunited. The 100 brothers, Karna, everyone was not united. They had their own agendas, selfish motives. Even the other kings, they had their own agendas. So in this way we find in this verse, Mai Sarvani Karmani, Krishna says, ultimately we become happy, we become satisfied when we work, offer the results of our activities and fruits of our activities to Krishna. That connection with Krishna is what will actually satisfy us. So Krishna continues this theme in the next few more verses, and then Arjuna asks a question about what is it that impels one to commit sin? Why does one commit sin even though one knows this is not good? What is the force that pushes one to commit sin? Then Krishna begins an answer. That we will see later. So thank you all very much for your kind attention. Hare Krishna.
but then you are getting bad results. What is the reason?
So any mode, whether it's ignorance, passion or goodness, every mode will have a reaction. Passion doesn't mean no reaction. Even in the mode of passion you get reaction. So passion means a strong desire to achieve something, but that you can't achieve anything without struggling. And there is a struggle. And you end up displeasing someone, you end up destroying something. So every action is a reaction. So that reaction we cannot avoid. In every mode there is a reaction. In mode of ignorance the reactions are more. In mode of passion the reactions are slightly less. In goodness it is even less. So reactions are there everywhere, every time. Is that okay? Okay, thank you all. Yes, Madhuri, one last question.
Hare Krishna. Actually, I know this desire is not will be fulfilled. I have strong desire to Krishna, that I want to get rid of material desires and only spiritual things. But I have heard from devotees that this can't be fulfilled so early. So what can you say regarding this my desire?
Yeah, so desire, to develop that pure desire takes time. It's a cultivation. Just like we cultivate a garden. In a garden you plant various seeds and the seeds have to grow, right? So that takes time. Cultivating a garden, you plant the seed and then water it and nourish it and fertilizers and other nutrients you put, and gradually the plant grows and grows into a tree, and finally after several years you get the fruits. Similarly, desire is also like a seed, and now we need to water it. Water it with proper practices. Protect it from by fencing, from weeds and insects. This world is like full of weeds and insects. So that takes time. It's not impossible. If it is impossible, then what is the point in practicing all this? Right? We have Shastra encouraging us that it is possible and it takes time. But we need to be watchful, cautious. So in the association, when we need to be careful about the do's and the don'ts. The do's and the don'ts are important. Do's are like the proper spiritual practices. Don'ts are the things we need to avoid to protect the tender creeper from getting destroyed. Then one day it will grow.
Yes, Prabhuji, I think since many lifetimes, maybe since many years in these lifetimes, maybe I'm lacking the patience.
Yeah. Impatience, like the Rupa Goswami says, no? Utsaha, Nishchaya, Dhairya. All three are important. Utsaha, enthusiasm is important. Nishchaya, determination is important. And Dhairya, patience. We can't be over enthusiastic. We can't be over impatient. Abhi chahiye, turant chahiye, ek din mein chahiye, ek hafte mein chahiye. But determination is also important. And enthusiasm is also important. All three together. Hare Krishna.